Hello everyone, myself Sudhakar. I welcome you all. In this lecture, we shall learn what do you mean by a group. First of all, group theory is a branch of mathematics that studies symmetry found in crystals, art, architecture, music, etc. Before going to the definition of a group, let us understand what is a binary operation. So for that, let us consider the set of all natural numbers 1, 2, 3, etc. So in school we studied 4 basic arithmetic operations: addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. Therefore we shall consider that one by one. So first I consider addition. Let us check whether it is a binary operation on n or not. Okay, take any two natural numbers. For example, 3 and 5. Let it be any two natural numbers. Symbolically we write belongs to n. Then what is 3 plus 5? So why we are writing 5 in between? Because we are discussing about addition. Therefore 3 plus 5 is 8. Clearly it is a natural number, therefore belongs to n. Similarly, we shall consider other two natural numbers 10 and 21. So belongs to n. Therefore what is 10 plus 21? So that is equal to 31. So belongs to n. So from these two examples, we can observe that sum of any two natural numbers is again a natural number. Therefore, we generalize that one for all a comma b belongs to n, a plus b belongs to n. Therefore, for all, that means it must true for every natural number. If you consider any two natural number, sum of any two natural numbers must be a natural number. Therefore, addition is a binary operation on n. Okay, we shall move to next arithmetic operation, that is subtraction. Therefore, second one I consider subtraction. Let us check whether it is a binary operation or not. Okay, again consider any two natural numbers. For example, 2 and 7 belongs to n. Therefore, what is 2 minus 7? That is equal to minus 5. So, minus 5 is not a natural number. Therefore, it doesn't belong to n. But if you consider 7 minus 2, that is equal to plus 5, clearly it belongs to n. Therefore, we have to check for all natural numbers. Therefore, this is the case we get where we get a number which is not a natural number. Therefore, one example is enough. Therefore, we conclude that minus is not a binary operation on n. Why minus is not a binary operation? Because difference of any two natural numbers need not be a natural number. Therefore, to be a binary operation, it must satisfy for all. Okay, let us move to next operation, that is multiplication product. I write that as dot. Okay, we shall check. Again, consider any two natural numbers 6 and 9 be any two natural numbers. So what is 6 into 9? So that is 54. Clearly it belongs to n. So another simple one. Okay, 2 and 3. belongs to n. So 2 into 3, that is 6, belongs to n. So you can observe, if you consider any examples, you can observe that product of any two natural numbers is always a natural number. So if you multiply any two natural numbers, we don't get 0, we don't get negatives. Therefore, for all a comma b belongs to n implies a dot b belongs to n. Therefore, dot, that is multiplication, is a binary operation on n. Okay, we shall consider another operation, that is division. Okay, again consider any two natural numbers. So for example, 12 and 13. Let it be any two natural numbers. So what is 12 by 13? Is it a natural number? No. So we get decimals, therefore it doesn't belong to n. But if you consider 4 and 2. What is 4 by 2? That is equal to 2. Clearly it belongs to n. But it is not true for all natural numbers. Here we have an example. There we don't get a number belongs to n. Therefore, division is not satisfied for every natural number. Therefore, division is not a binary operation on n. Okay, if we consider the set of all natural numbers, so addition and multiplication are binary operations, but subtraction and division are not binary operations on n. So why? Because difference of any two natural numbers is again need not be a natural number, and the division also. So if you consider any two numbers, so that the result need not be a natural number. So let us consider now another number system, that is set of all integers. So all of you know what are the elements of Z? 0, plus or minus 1, plus or minus 2, etc. Okay, again if you check one by one, addition, whether it is a binary operation or not, again you can consider any two integers. So minus 2 and 9. Okay, let it be any two integers. What is minus 2 plus 9? That is 7, belongs to n. So we can observe that sum of any two integers is always an integer. Therefore we conclude that for all a comma b belongs to z, a plus b belongs to z. Therefore addition is a binary operation on z. So what about subtraction? So again, if you consider any two integers, for example 5 and 15, so belongs to that. So what is 5 minus 15? That is equal to minus 10. Again it belongs to z. Okay, minus 12 comma plus 30 belongs to z. Again, what is minus 12 minus of 30? That is equal to minus 40. So if you consider any two integers, difference of any two integers is always an integer. Therefore, in the right hand side, we may get 0, we may get positive, we may get negative. Z contains 0, positives, negatives. Therefore, it is true in every case. Therefore, for all A comma B belongs to Z implies A minus B belongs to Z. Therefore, subtraction is a binary operation on Z. Next, third, what about multiplication? So again we shall consider 9 and 10. Let it be any two integers. What is 9 into 2? That is equal to 90. Clearly it is an integer. Similarly, you can consider any two integers, whether it may be positives, negatives, positive, negative, etc. Therefore, the product is always an integer. Okay, we shall consider another one. 0 and minus 18 belongs to Z. What is 0 into minus 18? That is equal to 0. To Z. Clearly we can say that for all A comma B belongs to Z implies A dot B belongs to Z. Therefore, multiplication is a binary operation on Z. Okay, what about division? Okay, fourth one, division. Okay, consider any two integers, 2 and 3 belongs to Z. But what is 2 by 3? It's a fraction, but Z doesn't contain fraction. Therefore, 2 by 3 is not an element of Z. Therefore, we conclude that division is not a binary operation on Z. Therefore, in case of Z, what are the binary operations? Addition is a binary operation, subtraction is a binary operation, and multiplication. But division is not a binary operation. Division is not a binary operation. So these three are binary operations on Z. Therefore, we got an idea what do you mean by a binary operation. If you consider any set in general, for example, let it be S be any set, and we have to consider any two elements of that set and combine those two, and we should get an element which belongs to the same set S. Therefore, you can verify for other number systems, that is set of all rational numbers, set of all real numbers, and set of all complex numbers. So you check whether addition, subtraction, multiplication and division are binary operations on these set. Okay, after considering few examples, now we shall define what do you mean by a binary operation. Therefore, I hope you got an idea now. So let us define what do you mean by a binary operation. So binary operation, in previous examples what we did, we considered two elements of the given set and we combined that using the given operation, and we checked what is the result, whether it belongs to that set or not. So simple definition is an operation which combines two elements of a set to give another element to give another element of the same set is called a binary operation. Or you can define binary operation in another way. A binary operation on a set S is a function that assigns each ordered pair of elements of S an element of S. So symbolically it may write like this. We may write like this function. So S to S. So ordered pair means I should consider two elements of the set S and I should check whether it belongs to the same set, another element of the set S. Or we have, in other words, we can define the binary operation in this way also. An operation star on a non-empty set yes is a binary operation if it satisfies the condition. What is that condition? A star B belongs to S for all A comma B belongs to S. Okay, you should remember this point. So we have checked this condition in the above examples. So for all A comma B belongs to S, their combination, that is A star B, must be in S. So if star is a binary operation on S, we say that S is closed under star. S is closed under star. So if it is a binary operation. In the above example, we say that we got addition is a binary operation on N. Therefore, we say that N is closed under addition. Like this, you can say. Okay, next, we shall have few examples. We have considered already. Okay, let us write one by one. So the first example, addition and multiplication are binary operations on. So we know that it is these two are binary operations on natural numbers N, integers Z, set of all rational numbers, and also set of all real numbers and complex numbers. We have verified these two, and you can verify in these three sets whether these two are binary operations. Okay, the second one, minus. It is a binary operation on Z, Q, R, and C. But minus is not a binary operation is not a binary operation on n, because we know the reason. If you consider 2 3 belongs to n, 2 minus 3, that is equal to minus 1, that doesn't belong to n. Similarly, third example. So you can consider multiplication, we have written already. So what about division? Division is not a binary operation, is not a binary operation on Z, Q, R and C. You can consider n also natural numbers. So why? We know the reason. If you take any two, so integers, so fraction we get, that doesn't belongs to Z. But here, in case of rationals, reals and complex numbers, so you can give example, because you can consider 2 0 or any two rationals. But what is 2 by 0? So 2 by 0, so it does not belong to Q. So we know that. But if you consider 0 by 2, it belongs to Q. Therefore, for this reason, because of 0, any number by 0, that does belong to Q. The same reason for R and complex numbers. Therefore, division is not a binary operation. But if you remove 0 from these sets, okay, let us consider that. Division is a binary operation on Q star, R star and C star. So this star denotes non-zero. So where Q star means non-zero rationals, non-zero rational numbers. Okay, similarly R star means non-zero real numbers, C star means non-zero complex numbers. So non-zero means from Q we have deleted 0. Therefore 0 is not a member in Q now. Therefore we can't consider in the above step we have written 2 comma 0, but here we can't take 0. Therefore if you take any two rationals, you can divide. For example 2 and 4, let it belong to Q star. Then what is 2 by 4? That is equal to 1 by 2. Clearly it belongs to Q star. So it is true for all. Therefore for all A comma B belongs to Q star, A by B belongs to Q star. So same reason holds for R star and C star. Therefore division is a binary operation on Q star, R star and C star. Similarly you can give regarding matrices. The matrix addition. Matrix addition is a binary operation. Is a binary operation on the set of all matrices, on the set of all matrices of order m cross n. On the set of all matrices of order m cross n. So elements of matrices you can consider any reals. So matrix addition, you know how to add two matrices. So if you add two matrices, you get a matrix. Again it belongs to the set of matrices of order m cross n. Similarly you can consider matrix multiplication also. Again it is a binary operation. Okay, so now we have understood what you mean by a binary operation, and also we have considered few examples. Now we shall have another concept called algebraic structure. So what do you mean by algebraic structure? algebraic structure. So this is the simple definition. A non-empty set G, a non-empty set G together with one or more binary operation on G is called an algebraic structure. An algebraic structure. So examples: one or more binary operations, therefore we can give groups, rings and fields, etc. So these two we're going to study in the next year. So group in the next we're going to give examples, therefore those are the examples for algebraic structure. So group also we can consider as algebraic structure. Now we shall define the important definition in abstract algebra, that is group. So what do you mean by a group? What do you mean by a group? So we have to consider a non-empty set. Let G be a non-empty set. G be a non-empty set with an operation star. Then G is said to be a group. Then G is said to be a group if it satisfies the following laws. So what are the laws? The first one, closure law. Closure law. So what do you mean by closure law? For all A comma B belongs to G, A star B belongs to G. That means if you take any two elements of G, combine that with star, and the result must be in the G itself. Therefore, closure law is nothing but we are verifying the binary operation. So the second law is associative law. Associative law. So again, what is associative law? A star of B star C is equal to A star B star C, and this must be true for all A comma B comma C belongs to G. And the third one is identity law. Identity law. So what do you mean by identity law? So there exists an element, E belongs to G, such that A star E is equal to E star A, that is equal to A. And this must be true for all A belongs to G. So next, fourth one, inverse law. Inverse law. So for every A belongs to G, for every A belongs to G, so for every A belongs to G, there exists A inverse belongs to G, such that such that A star A inverse is equal to A inverse star A is equal to E. E means the identity element. So here we call as the inverse of A inverse, or A inverse is the inverse of A. So after this, therefore now you understand what do you mean by a group. So we shall recall. So group means a non-empty set G with an operation star is said to be a group. Is said to be a group if it satisfies the following laws. How many laws are there? 4 laws. The first one is closure law. Closure law means for every A belongs to G, AB belongs to G, A star B belongs to G. So symbolically we write for all A comma B belongs to G, A star B belongs to G. And associative law, A star of B star C is equal to A star B star C. And identity law, there exists an element E belongs to G such that A star E is equal to E star A is equal to A. That means we should get same element. Okay, what is inverse law? Inverse law, for every A belongs to, for every element in G, there exists A inverse in G. That means in the same set, such that if you combine those two, I should get identity element. Therefore, if G is a group with binary operation star, then we denote that by G comma star. So if G is a group with binary operation star, then we say that G star is a group. So if you consider any non-empty set G, and with a binary operation star, to say it is a group, it must satisfy 4 laws. So what are those 4 laws? One is closure law, associative law, identity law, and inverse law. You can remember those laws like this. Closure law, so write CL for closure law. Associative, I write ASS. Identity and inverse. So therefore, class ID in laws. Class ID in laws. That means closure law, associative law, identity, and inverse laws. So for G to become a group under the binary operation stars, it must satisfy 4 laws. Therefore, you can remember these laws in this way. Now let us consider few examples of a group. The first and the foremost important example is, okay, let us take the set of all integers under the operation, that is addition, binary operation addition. Let us check whether it is a group or not. So to check whether it is a group or not, I should check the 4 laws one by one. So first one we shall consider closure law. So what closure law says? For all A comma B belongs to G, A star B must be in G. So for all, so if you consider any 2 integers, whether their sum is an integer, why we are considering sum? Because the binary operation we are considering is addition. Therefore, we know that we have verified already, for every A comma B belongs to Z, A plus B, their sum is also an integer. Therefore, clearly closure law is satisfied. So next one, associative law. So second one is associative law. Okay, what is associative? If you consider any three integers, so 2, 4, 6, let it be any integers, and we shall consider left hand side of associative law. What is left hand side of associative law? A star of B star C, but in place of star we have plus, therefore A plus of B plus C. Therefore this is A, this is B, and this is C. Therefore 2 plus of 4 plus 6. Therefore this is 2 plus 10, that is 12. Similarly, right hand side of associative, that is A plus B plus C. Therefore this is equal to, so A plus B, so that is 2 plus 4 plus 6. Therefore this is 6 plus 6, that is 12. Therefore left hand side is equal to right hand side, and it must be true for all. Therefore in case of integers it is true for all. Therefore we can write for all A comma B comma C belongs to Z, A plus of B plus C is equal to A plus B plus C. Therefore associative law is satisfied. Okay, next, third one, identity law. So what is that identity element we should find? Okay, third one, identity law. Okay, let us consider an integer. So 9 is an integer. Okay, for this 9, what is the number we should add so that I get 9 itself? So the one and only one number is 0, and I should check whether this number belongs to Z or not. Clearly 0 belongs to Z, we know that. 0 belongs to Z. And whether it is true in this case also, whether 0 plus 9 is equal to 9, yes. Therefore we have 9 plus 0 is equal to 0 plus 9, both are equal to 9. I got same element. Therefore, if you take another 8 plus 0 is equal to 0 plus 8, again I get 8. So, if you consider any integer and if you add 0, I get same integer. Therefore 0 acts as the identity element. Therefore it is true for every element. Therefore in general, A plus 0 is equal to 0 plus A is equal to A. And this is true for all A belongs to Z. Therefore what is the identity element? Therefore 0 belongs to Z is the identity element. Identity element. And you should check whether we get any other element other than 0, so that if you add that element to the integers, I get same element. So you check that one. Okay, we got the identity element. Therefore identity law is satisfied. Identity law is satisfied. And the last law, that is inverse law, the fourth one. So in law, okay, let us consider any other integer. So 12, for example. Okay, for this 12, what is the number to be added so that right hand side I get identity element? So just now we got identity element, that is 0. So for 12, clearly you should add minus 12. But be careful, whatever the number we are adding, that must belong to the given set. Yes, minus 12 belongs to Z. Therefore we got 12 plus of minus 12, that is 0. That means for 12, if you add minus 12, you get 0. Whether it is true in this case also, for minus 12, if you add plus 12, again I get 0. Therefore it is of the form A star A inverse is equal to A inverse star A. I got identity element. Therefore 12 plus of minus 12 is equal to minus 12 plus 12 is equal to 0. So this is true for every element. So therefore, here minus 12 acts as the inverse of plus 12, or plus 12 acts as the inverse of minus 12. So similarly, what is the inverse of 12 means minus 12. What is the inverse of minus 12 means plus 12. Similarly, what is the inverse of 9? Minus 39. What is the inverse of 123? Minus 123. What is the inverse of minus 54 plus 54? So how we are writing the inverse? If we add those two numbers, I should get 0, which is the identity element. Therefore, a plus of minus a is equal to minus a plus a is equal to 0. And this is true for every a. Therefore, we say that minus a is the inverse, specifically we say additive inverse of plus a, or plus a is the additive inverse of minus a. Therefore, the set of all integers satisfies all the 4 laws under addition. Therefore, Z plus is a group. Z plus is a group. Therefore, I hope you understood, to say any set under the binary operation to be a group, we have to verify 4 laws. That is closure, associative, identity, and inverse. In the same way, you can verify Q plus, R plus, and C plus. So again, these sets becomes a group because these sets satisfies all the 4 laws. Therefore, after defining a group, you can give examples. So Z plus, Q plus, R plus, C plus are all groups. And you can verify, we have considered plus as the binary operation. You can replace that by minus or dot or division, and you check whether it becomes a group. To become a group, you should satisfy all the 4 laws. If any one of the laws is failed, then it is not a group. So you can, here itself you can consider whether n plus is a group. So n means set of all natural numbers. So first condition is closure law. Closure law means sum of any 2 natural numbers is a natural number. Therefore, closure law is satisfied. And second one is associative law. What is associative law? A plus of b plus c. It is sum of 3 natural numbers. Again, it is true. A plus b plus c. So it is true for all a comma b comma c belongs to n. Therefore, associative law is also satisfied. And third one is identity law. So identity law means if you consider any natural number, for example 13, what is the number I should add so that I get 13 itself? So actual number is 0, but 0 doesn't belong to n. Therefore, identity, we don't get identity element. Therefore, identity law fails. If you don't get identity, you don't get inverse also. Therefore, so identity law is not satisfied. Therefore, n plus is not a group. Therefore, if any one of the laws is failed, we can conclude that the given set under the binary operation is not a group. So we shall consider other definitions in the next lecture.